Hey everybody, it's Ian here, Reef on Instagram and YouTube. I'm just going to really quickly this week run through a couple of bits I'm doing to the tank and some of the frustrations that I've got going on at the moment. So yeah, as the video title suggests, I did lose my banana wrasse. Frustrating, yeah. It has jumped previously, but basically I don't really like the look of the Red Sea net over the tank, and I took it away about a month ago. I much prefer the tank with no jump guard, but the banana wrasse did jump a couple of weeks ago. My wife was lucky enough to be here and she picked it up and put it back in the tank. Then another night it jumped, hit the light and went back in. But I suspect that when I was out of the house, he jumped out, landed on the floor, and this guy, Cooper, my Jack Russell, I think you ate him, because I was told by my wife that my Jack Russell's farts smelled really bad, and I thought that was pretty funny. And then I noticed that the banana wrasse was gone out of the tank. There was a wet patch on the floor, but no fish. So I think she ate him, pretty much. So that's my fault for not having a jump guard on the tank. As well as that, my pH has been lower than usual. I have been running a skimmer for the first year or two of the tank, but recently with very, very low nutrients, I decided to stick with the roller and drop the skimmer. But the pH in the tank has dropped. I think that's down to the gyres not being cleaned and the flow being pretty bad on the tank, and as well as that the skimmer just not being there to raise the pH. So the gyres are clean and I'm putting the skimmer back in. I'm going to probably try and open up the valve on the bypass on the clarity a bit more and see if that can help. But you know, it's either low pH and a bit of nutrients or no nutrients on a good pH. So yeah, I have got a little bit of RTN on my Red Planet Acro and I am pissed about that. It's really disappointing. Otherwise, everything's going okay. I don't know about the Aptasia. Like, there's a big Aptasia, like I said, 50p and a couple of baby ones in there. Should I get a bunch of peppermint shrimp? But then I don't know if they're gonna be legit peppermint shrimp, like if they're gonna eat it or not. So that's kind of touch and go. I'll probably have to get 5 of them, 4 of them, or I could get a copper band. But I think if I put a copper band butterfly in there, the tangs will probably beat them up for a while, and that's not something I really want to get into. So let's see where we go from here. I'll show you how I'm cleaning the gyres, and then I'll give you a quick show around the tank and a couple other bits that's going on. So I hope that was pretty brief this week, and I'll fill you in next week what's going on. So enjoy, please like and subscribe, and come talk to me on Instagram, like my Instagram stuff, and follow along. Okay, so this is one of those do as I say, not as I do things. Yeah, I'm gonna use vinegar. I'm literally gonna use Heinz distilled vinegar to clean my gyre pumps. And I know that's not the right thing to do, but I haven't got any of that pump clean stuff, and I'm in a spot that was like £3, so I'm going to use it. So don't clean your pumps with vinegar, but it works, and I'm going to do it one time. Okay, vinegar. So I have absolutely no idea what the ratio is of the vinegar to water I put in, but I just put 2 bottles of vinegar in. That's 1 litre, 1.1 litre, and yeah, a good few, maybe like 4 litres of water. So 5 to 1 maybe, estimate. Let's see how these clean up in an hour or two. Okay, so while the gyres are having a vinegar bath, I'm using the old Hydor Corilla pump that I use for my mixing station, and I've just stuck it in. It's creating a tiny bit of flow. There's my RTN Coral. So funny. And there's a little bit of flow in there. You know, that's what we used to use back in the old days. Let's see. There's a tiny bit of flow. That'll do. I've turned off the radions, just got them on the very minimum little UV setting, temporarily, so I don't burn the corals. The T5s are still on, but the radions are off. So while all those lovely gyre pumps are, I don't know, descaling, getting rid of the coralline algae, I came to my beach, which is not my beach, but the beach beside my house, which is just 5 minutes away. I wonder if I could use the water off that beach in my tank. That'd be kind of cool. Well, it's probably about 8 degrees, so it might not work out. But hey, it's a good thing to pass time while I'm doing my pumps. Well, they're not perfect, but they're vastly improved. So let's see if this helps a bit of flow. Get them back in the tank. Here's the gyres all cleaned up. You really do notice an effect in the flow when they're not clean. I didn't realise just how dramatic it would be, but they're spotless now, relatively, but clean. And you can see the fish are swimming against like a true current. It's not like random back and forth and all that. I've got them flowing for a minute on one side and then a minute on the other, and it creates a full tide. It is pretty impressive. Like now they're swimming the other direction because that's the whole flow, you know. It is really impressive how much water movement they're getting, and hopefully the corals will appreciate that. So that's an update on the gyres. They're ready to go. And I just want to show you the Tunzi skimmer, which will be going back into play literally now. I'll put it back in now. So let's see what happens. There you go, everybody. This is the Tunzi skimmer 9412, I think the model is. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. That's cool. But it is a whopper skimmer. It's like over a foot tall. Now I cleaned this all up and decommissioned when I thought I wasn't going to use a skimmer, but it's coming back because the pH has dropped. And I've left that like calcite line when I was cleaning it, because it's a good indicator of exactly where it was leveled when it was in the sump. Now I built my whole sump basically to house the roller mat and this skimmer. As you can see, this is my sump here, and this rear chamber in the back is where that skimmer lives. That chamber is tall enough, full of water, that it can hold the whole skimmer, and its surface skims off that. So it's worked out really well in the past, but because of the low pH, I'm going to reinstate the skimmer. Now just have a quick look at my sump so you guys can see how it looks. Yeah, pretty happy with it, but next time I'm going to do a much simpler operation. Okay, so I'll get the skimmer installed and we'll call it a day. The skimmer is in. After a month or so off, it's just starting to bed in. We can see that it's gonna start producing a bit of skimming soon. All that junk at the bottom is just clearing out. Fingers crossed for a bit of good skim out. It's a great little skimmer. There you go. It's the end of a week. See if I can make some more videos in the future. Like and subscribe and all that stuff, please. Leave me comments and messages. Thanks. Good night.